You're watching the Daily Decrypt. Your currency competition is now served. I am your host, Amanda B. Johnson, and today's episode is brought to you by BitShares. There is money to be made in the buying and selling of cryptocurrencies, and many like to hedge the fluctuating value of various cryptos with fiat, like the US dollar. But selling in and out of actual dollars is often both arduous and expensive. Today we've spoken with Alejandro Colorado, Alex for short, a Daily Decrypt viewer we met at a Bitcoin conference in Mexico City. There, he told us that information he had found via the Daily Decrypt had helped him develop a trading strategy using fiat-pegged cryptocurrencies to hedge volatility. Here's how he does it.
I'm not like a serious, long experienced trader, Wall Street guy that just found like altcoins being the new rush. But at the same time, it's not really that hard to understand. The market goes up, Bitcoin goes up, something will go down, and you can actually buy in, and when it goes back up, you will make money. So I started, of course, just basically hedging Bitcoins from dollars to Bitcoin. My first website that I was trying to do that was Uphold, which they rebrand sometimes. So I think Uphold right now is the name. It used to be Bit Reserve, and I used to doing fiat to Bitcoin.
Okay.
Later, I found other markets like the gold market, in which case there's another website called Toro, and I was doing hedging. But it was always like this thing, I'm jumping in and out of crypto, and it would be great. And I get the feeling that the commissions were too high. So because you have to, you're getting into a fiat currency that needs to be backed up somehow officially, and the whole thing looks complex. And it would be great if you can just do it crypto to crypto, because I'm only interested on the value, on the valuation of the coin. So when I learned about Bitcoin, Nubits, thanks to you, I was like, well, this might be a great thing. And
let me say, for anybody who doesn't know, Nubits, the currency you're talking about that you learned about on the Daily Decrypt, is a crypto which is always worth the value of $1 US. Okay, please continue.
Exactly. And so I was like, well, I can just do the same thing that I was doing with dollars. In this case, I will do it with Nubits. So my first experience was in Bittrex, which is an altcoin exchange, and I saw that Nubits was listed on the Bittrex. So I just started buying Nubits back and forth. Actually, that worked. The valuation was pretty good. The only big thing was that it was centralized. So I have to give my money to the exchange, and then I have to do my exchange there. And I was really interested in these decentralized markets or decentralized exchanges. However, right now at the moment, I only see different strategies that I'm trying to pursue later as I learn more about the exchange, how they work. I'm not really pursuing that at the moment. The only alternative I found was Shapeshift.
Mm-hmm.
Shapeshift do provide me to have my wallets on my desktop or on my mobile, and just basically shuffle my coins between Nubits and Bitcoin every time I see fit.
Mm-hmm.
The only gotcha, though, is that you really need to pay attention to the valuation that Shapeshift is giving you for those coins. I have a little script that I wrote on the side that will just basically tell me how much is Shapeshift giving me versus what Bittrex will give me, so I can make a decision where is the best place to do the exchange, and that usually works for me. This is just one way that I trade. I really are interested in the Nubits community in the sense that they have a whole structure that they're going forward with, that you can not only hedge between the US dollar and Bitcoin, but in the future you will be able to hedge between other currencies. So you will have a Nubits USD and you have a new Nubits CYN for yuan, and the same thing for other currencies, the euros, the yens, etc. So I'm really excited about this new roadmap that the community is making for Nubits, and it's a good alternative for it. So that's basically what I've been doing with Nubits at this time. And I think what I was saying is that there are other markets, such as the asset exchange. The NXT asset exchange is an exchange within the protocol. Works similar to the stock exchange. Companies can issue assets, and people can buy them and trade them. And in this sort of way, they did what Nubits did, but within their own market. So what they did is basically create an NXT USD, which is pegged to the US dollar, and then you can trade like if it was between NXTs and US dollars. Since I'm not a big holder of NXTs, I'm really not doing that, but it's like something I want to look into it. Also provides me the advantages of giving me better rates, lower cost of trade. So those are things that I'm looking into it. There's also other alternatives like BitShare, I think, is doing something similar. They have some assets on BTC and similar things.
It's interesting that you bring that up, that your main trading pair has been dollars and Bitcoin, because there's a liquidity event coming up, I'm told, by the BitShares community on the 29th, which I believe is this coming Monday. And the people will be focusing on the trading pair between BitUSD and BitBTC. So that might also be up your alley. And like NXT, BitShares has a decentralized exchange built onto their protocol level as well. So you can keep your private keys while trading.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's definitely an opportunity to give this. But like I told you, different ways of doing this trading besides just doing currency, fiat to crypto. Now you can see that there's these opportunities are exploding all over the altcoin universe. Not only Nubits, but BitShares, but NXT, and now you have a different micro universe of opportunities to trade.
I wanted to ask you, since you found profitability trading in this way, do you have any like programs set up online that will like automatically buy or sell for you if a certain price point is reached? Or is this just something that you as the human like pay attention to during your waking hours and you execute the trades?
Well, yes, I am a developer, and I actually know of different trading bots.
Trading bots,
that
right.
are in a marketplace for trading bots. I don't remember I think it's TradeView or Trade something. I'm not really sure about the name, but if you Google trading bots marketplace, you will find it definitely. However, sometimes it's so I just want to write it myself, in the sense that like I know what this bot is getting. A friend of mine also tests some of them. He loses some money on it, so we kind of like, okay, until I understand how the bot works, I'd rather just build it myself.
So have you written any trade bots?
Yes, I have. I have done some backtrace. So, for example, when I test the market, I can test my strategy. If the bot would have alert me or execute a trade on these signals, then I will be able to have make or lost X amount of money on.
And what exchanges do you find that the bots that you've written work on?
Well, I did that for my wallet, so it will work directly. I mean, it will execute the trade from my wallet on my desktop. Also, that's why I haven't really productized it, because it's really done for my setup. So it will connect to my desktop. It will send me alarms natively on my desktop, and it will only work with my setup in the sense that I use KDE on Linux, so it will connect to KDE and give me a native signal. But once I This is also because I'm testing it. Once I think this is going to be good, then I can start going into more open markets like blockchain, like Coinbase, what people usually use for their Bitcoins, and then they will be able to do it either from their wallets or tag it to an exchange like Bittrex or Kraken.
And so just from my own clarity, so your bots that you've written, they notify you that a certain price point in a currency has been reached, and then you yourself actually have to push like the buy or the sell button, like you are the...
That's only because I wanted to do it, because I can just basically on code just say, go ahead, don't wait for me to make the trade. And basically like a night mode in case like, okay, if it really goes up, you really know what to do, you know what I mean? So you put up the threshold.
It'll wake you up, like you have it set to like actually be an alarm so that if a price is hit that you want while you're sleeping, it'll wake you up.
Exactly. It will either wake you up or do the trade like, oh, this signal goes, if it goes through some percentage above, just do the trade. Don't wait for me. You can beat me, and if it keeps going up or keeps going down, just execute the trade.
Have you found that there are any exchanges? I mean, do exchanges like let people set like automatic buy and sell orders that will execute for them while they're sleeping? And if so, which ones do that?
Exchanges, even like the wallets, like blockchain, their API on blockchain, you can say send all to any other account. The thing is that then you will need another kind of a module that will allow, for example, shapeshift, that will take your Bitcoins that you send and will change it into some other crypto. Ideally, that's why I'm looking into these asset exchange markets, because their API already have all set up and you have all the coins. So it's decentralized, but the API is good enough to buy and sell within the same stock, the asset market. So that is why I'm looking into alternatives than going from one crypto to the other, and instead going from one asset to the other.
Well, that is an interesting journey that you have taken from hedging Bitcoin with new bits to saying, hey, like this whole bot realm is kind of complex, and I'm still trusting these exchanges with my private keys, like using BitShares and or NXT. I could do what I'm doing now, but I wouldn't have to trust anybody. And of course, you can do NXT and BitShares allow the setting of auto buy and sell orders as well?
Yes. I mean, it's an API. It has the instructions to buy and or to hold, and you have also different kind of like wallets, like they call it daughter wallets or child wallets. That you can also be like having like if you want to trade between one and the other, so you don't mix both investments. At the same time, these APIs are really growing still, so it is expected that it will become more and more easy to do all these things, or automate, having different interfaces that will automate the whole process. At this time, they're very raw, but I think you can start doing it into plugins. For example, the NXT wallet allows you to build plugins that you can connect to your wallet, and those plugins can, that can be in the future, be bots that will do these tradings for you. And the other thing is that, well, we can also look beyond fiat. You can actually apply it to Ethereum, to Ruby coin, to other altcoins, and then you can actually do multiple tradings between altcoins in itself, all automated by the bots.
And yes, I don't believe there's any decentralized way to keep your private keys and trade new bits right now. If and when BNC Exchange is launched, I believe that should be maybe the first way that like inter-blockchain trades can be made in a decentralized way. Because as you've mentioned, like there's the NXT decentralized exchange, there is the BitShares decentralized exchange, but it's just NXT related assets being traded here and just BitShares related assets being traded here. And so if BNC Exchange is what it promises to be, then there will be a way in the future to also trade new bits without having to give up your private keys. And as you had said, Nubits also has announced sort of plans for like a new yuan, new euro, that sort of thing. And so like these three, these three areas are converging on that sort of market, and that's very neat. Well, I think that's really what I wanted to talk to you about, Alex. And I know that tell us a bit about Bitcoiners.
Yes, Bitcoiners it's a community that a local community. I'm a very hardcore Linux user, and I come from the days of having the goals or the Linux user groups, the logs. I'm sorry. So the Linux user groups are basically local groups where people can come in every other week and talk about different open free software technologies. And what I did is replicate that into the Bitcoin community and having basically a Bitcoin user group. And what it happens is that newcomers will arrive to the meetup, and we will be able to grant them with like all these kinds of information on how to set up their first account, how to get their mobile wallet. We already have like some kind of like internal documentation about what is the best wallet that we have tried, and this is the best that works for iOS or for Android and such. So they have a leaner introduction to Bitcoin. They get an introduction of all the technology. We also do activities like going to colleges and talk about Bitcoins.
Wow. To events. And this is all there in Cancun?
Yes.
And how often do you all meet up, and what kind of turnouts have you had?
We do it weekly, and actually tonight we have our next meeting. We do it Thursday nights, and we actually seen the community grow. It's been growing steadily, and also because all the information, we cannot just grab all the information from one person. So that's why we kind of like, sometimes I do this, so you can do this, and then we meet, and then we exchange what was the best way, like trade bots, for example.
Yeah.
So that way we share what is the best strategy to go with, and then we just jump on it, because so much things going on in Bitcoin that is pretty exciting. Yeah.
Crowdsourcing the knowledge. Well, that's neat to hear. Well, good luck with your Bitcoiners meetup this evening, and thanks so much for your time, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, talk to you later.
Today's episode is brought to you by BitShares, a currency which makes multi-signature transactions easy for everybody. You are invited to the upcoming BitShares liquidity event, which is this Monday, February 29th, where traders will focus on the US dollar and Bitcoin denominated trading pair. Information about this event is located in the description, and you can open your own BitShares wallet at openledger.info. And thank you, everybody, who leaves comments and sends me content suggestions, whether it's here on YouTube, in the Daily Decrypt subreddit, or just sending me an email or using the contact form at thedailydecrypt.com. It's all appreciated, and keep them coming. Have a great day.